Yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your bed. You know my car's my happy place. Keep a smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings. Independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from CapTrust on Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 11:40 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
All right. I have to start here. Yesterday was practically perfect, right? The 49ers win. Brock Purdy puts up the highest possible passer rating. The Kings win 6 in a row. De'Aaron Fox is named Western Conference Player of the Week today, other than the Hufanga injury, which is terrible. Great day yesterday. But now some people are upset and been out of shape around here because Lou Williams says there's not a lot to do in Sacramento. Why do we care what Lou Williams thinks? Lou Williams says a lot of idiotic things. We're better than that. Kyle Draper coming to us from New Orleans. Get ready for the Kings and the Pelicans. Kyle, everything's going so well. Why do we care what Lou Williams says or thinks?
I'm with you 100%, Whitey. Excited to be here, obviously, in New Orleans. But, as great of a basketball player as Lou Will was, the only advice I'm taking from him is wings and gentlemen's clubs.
Right.
That's the only thing he can speak to me about. Now, if he wants to do a rating system on those, okay, Lou Will, I'll pay attention to you. But don't come talking about my city like that. We don't care about that.
Right. And I will say, he actually did mix some kind words in there when he said players go there and get caught up in the basketball culture and the environment and the fans because it's so great. So he actually said some good things. And the point of all that, if there was one, was that Shams was suggesting that for the first time since Chris Webber was here, opposing stars want to come to Sacramento. What did you make of that, Kyle Draper? You travel around the league. Is that where we are right now?
I think so, because when you look at the way the Kings play, first of all, it's a fun style to play. Second of all, if you remember last year, Sacramento was the best story in the entire association. Then you come into this year and they've backed it up with a strong start 8 for De'Aaron Fox, one of the young studs in this league. Domas is playing extremely well. And if you win in Sacramento, you're treated as a god. Can you imagine if you could bring a championship here to Sacramento? And so if I'm one of those big name free agents, they play a fun style, they have a great coach, great young core, great fan base, and an opportunity to win as well. That's all you can ask for. And if you get it done in Sacramento, I would argue it's sort of like, winning it in Cleveland before LeBron got there and won a championship. It's winning in Milwaukee like Giannis. I mean, you would be a god here in Sacramento if you could get this team a championship.
Yes, absolutely. And taking nothing away from the Kings and that great win last night, one thing I really enjoyed about the win against the Mavs was that their basketball team, just like their football team, they're frauds. Am I right? I mean, everyone gets crazy about Luka this, Luka that, and the Kings, they toyed with them a little bit here or there. They demolished Dallas in their own building last night.
Dude, don't be sports talk radio guy. I know you fired up. You had a nice weekend here, Whitey. Let's not throw shade. Dallas has been playing some good basketball. We caught them on the second night of a back-to-back, and so the Kings took care of business. But don't turn into that guy, Whitey.
I've been that guy. I'm not a big Luka guy. But that said, yeah, I understand all that.
No, but you're right, man. I tell you what, watching Luka play yesterday, I was so frustrated. At one point during the game, I turned to my right, the great Derek Harper, former Dallas Mavericks guard, one of the great guards in the NBA during this time. I turned to him, I took off my headset, and I just looked at him and I said, tell your boy to just play ball.
Thank you.
Shut up and play basketball. It was too much. He was begging for foul calls. He was flopping. I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA retroactively fines him for some of those plays yesterday.
Yeah, in about 10 minutes, we're getting to Drape's Takes, and I'm hoping that Luka finds his way into Drape's Takes.
Ooh, I may have to do a bonus one then.
Hope I hear a little bit more of that, but we'll find out soon enough. For all the talk of De'Aaron Fox and all the huge numbers that he put up, and they were phenomenal, one of the numbers that really stood out to me again, Drapes, is the fact that De'Aaron Fox had 30 points. He had 0 turnovers. You know how hard that is, as much as he's handling the ball, and he's the point of emphasis for the defense. 0 turnovers is amazing.
It's a mastery of the game we're seeing from De'Aaron Fox right now, Whitey. 14 assists, 1 turnover over the last 2 games. Like, this is insane numbers. And as much as he handles the ball, as much as he's the focus, as fast as the Kings play as well, for him to be able to take care of the ball, it's sort of like being a quarterback. Your one main job is to take care of the ball. Well, he's doing that at an immense rate, and he's scoring. He's putting up big numbers. Named Western Conference Player of the Week within the last hour or so, well-deserved. And so it's just, we're watching a player transform before our eyes. Last year and this year, he has learned to master the game. Think about it. You got Luka, you got Kyrie, you got all these big names. These are international superstars, and the best player on the floor, the 2 best players on the floor, our guy, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. They owned it. Whitey, I got caught up right here. This is the first time I've ever seen it. The Kings are out here playing full court. You know how they warm up? You've seen them warm up with some of their young guys. Well, they're going up and down full court with some of the assistant coaches right now. I've never seen that in a shoot-around. Trey Lyles is taking part as well, and so hopefully he's coming back soon. Not going to play tonight, but this is an encouraging sign. I think they're doing this to get Trey some 5-on-5 minutes, some reps right now.
Wow.
So this is an encouraging sign, man.
Yeah, thanks for the scoop. By the way, what else can you tell us about the injury situation tonight? Kevin Huerter didn't play last night. The last I saw, I think he was questionable for tonight. What do we know about who's playing, who's not playing tonight?
Yeah, it's a long list of injuries for the Sacramento Kings. Keon Ellis, he's out tonight. He tweaked something, a leg, I think it was, the other day. I saw him earlier, as a matter of fact, during at the hotel, and we chatted. He didn't seem like he was going to miss the game. He did have some stimulation going on his lower leg, like a stim device. And he's upset, I would imagine, because New Orleans features Herb Jones. They played together in college, and so he was looking forward. He was excited to go against Herb Jones, and so now that's not going to happen. So that's a big blow. So obviously, I would imagine we'll see some more Davion out there tonight, some off night getting some minutes. So no Keon Ellis. Let me pull it up. I got it right here.
No Alex Lynn, of course.
No
He's still
Alex
not playing.
Lynn. Trey Lyles is out. Sasha is on the injury report also, and this one surprised me because I didn't see it. They're calling it left thumb soreness.
Yeah.
I guess too many shots. You're getting it up so quickly. He's getting it up.
Yeah.
So he's questionable, and like you said, Kevin Huerter's questionable as well.
Yeah, that's called shooter's thumb. Yeah, and then with New Orleans, we were just talking before we brought you on about New Orleans, and they're just a hard team to figure because they've had so many injuries. You don't even know who's going to be on the lineup night tonight. But I believe Zion and Ingram are both playing tonight, right? As far as we know.
They're both in tonight. Zion had a rest night the other night, and he was taken off the injury report. It's interesting because I was talking to Doug Christie about this Pelicans team and what he saw, because this is his scout. This is the team he's diving in, preparing for. He said what he saw is the team took a while to adjust to the loss of C.J. McCollum. And what you're seeing now, they've won 2 out of their last 3. And so what you're seeing now is that, guys are starting to figure it out. And remember, the game they lost the other night was without Zion. And so they're starting to figure out how to play without CJ. So this is going to be a tough opponent. Anytime you play a team twice, back-to-back sort of in the same building. We saw it against Houston. Remember, just a few weeks ago, Houston came up and they were ready. And this Pelicans team, sure, the record doesn't indicate that they're good, but they got some talent, man. It's going to be tough tonight.
Yeah, I think they're getting used to a new offense with a new associate head coach coming over from Charlotte. And you're right. I mean, C.J. McCollum he's like a star glue guy. I mean, he holds everything together, but he also gives you star-like numbers, so that's a huge loss for them.
Yeah, big loss, and, he's sort of the adult in the room. And I know Ingram has some years under his belt, but CJ is just like that savvy sage veteran that's out there that can get you a bucket on any given possession. And so without him, their guards are really young. Like they have some young guards, so it'll be interesting to see if the Kings can pressure them, maybe force some turnovers tonight.
Domas, I'm telling you, I got this feeling like, and it's great, isn't it, to see a guy sign the new deal, and then if anything, he's like trying harder. You don't always see that. Human nature being what it is, it's understandable. And I do think I wouldn't be surprised if when April rolls around, if we're looking at a new career high for him, because he's just the scoring, and he's always very efficient. But he is adopting or taking on a heavier scoring load, and he's very comfortable with it.
No, exactly, and that's something we talked about before the season. We weren't sure he would do that, right? Like we thought he would, just be passive out there offensively. But right now, he's taking it to players. And what is it, 4 straight games of 20 or more points? As Trey Lyles did a nice up and under move. Looks good out there. But no, it's amazing at his level of play. And I talked to Doug about this, actually, because Doug is like the guy that works him out. And one thing they did this summer, this offseason, and I'll say this on the broadcast tonight on TV, is remember that game 21? I don't know if you guys used to play it, 21, where it's like every man for himself, basically.
Yes.
And so they did a lot of that. Doug Christie, Landry Barbosa, Domantas Sabonis, and Chris Duarte out there in Napa, because a lot of times what you'll see is players work on things, but then they don't apply it to the game. And so their mission was, you know what? You got all this swagger, all this stuff in your bag, but you don't use it in the game. And one-on-one and 21 kind of play, we used to call it roughhouse in Philly where I was growing up. You got to sort of, figure out a way to get to the basket, to get your shots off. And I was impressed with Domas the other night, just the variety of shots he took. what was he? 13 of 13, I think, from 2-point range. Missed a couple threes maybe.
That's right.
So,
you're exactly right.
Yeah. Is that what it was? So yeah, man, he's playing at in another all NBA level.
Yeah, there was a drill when I coached 8th grade girls. What we had called NBA No Babies Allowed, and it was like, there's no fouls. Everyone's out. Yeah, and then if you score, you get to the end of the line. You have 3 people out there, and they loved it. They used to ask, "Can we play No Babies Allowed?" But when you played 21, if you got to 20, then you had to go back. What number did you go back to?
I think it might have been 17
yes,
or 15
17,
or something like that.
17.
Yeah, same thing. Yep. We all played that game, and it's crazy to think you got NBA superstars playing that game, Domantas Sabonis. But you know what? Whatever, and so you're seeing that in his game. Some of the variety of his shots out there.
Yeah, well, the Kings are just rolling along as they get ready to take on New Orleans. That's where Kyle Draper is. We're going to take a quick timeout. Come back with Drapes in New Orleans. He's going to share Drapes' takes after last night's win over Dallas. That's next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor kart track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
A lot of people have been wondering. I know Alan and Chris were talking a lot about it today. What's the deal with Trey Lyles? What's his status? When will we see him again? We go to New Orleans. Kyle Draper's watching him right now, right, Kyle? This is breaking news on Trey Lyles.
Yeah, he's out there playing 5-on-5 right now. Let me see who's out there. You got Jalen Slauson, Kessler Edwards, Colby Jones. You got Philip Petrusev and Trey Lyles out there with a number of assistant coaches. And so they're getting up and down, man. And this is something you just don't see before an NBA game. You see it at your own practice facility maybe. But, here we are, a couple of hours before tip-off, and these guys are running full-court basketball. And Trey, he looks good, man. He looks a little gassed right now. Obviously, haven't played all season. But I think this, what we're seeing is specifically for him, just to give him some work. And so I want to ask Mike Brown about it during his pregame availability. It looks like Trey is getting really close to returning.
Now, I have to ask you on behalf of your many, many fans listening, and if you're not able to, we would understand because you have important work to do, but Can you give us just a taste of your play-by-play with the 5-on-5 going on right now? If not, it's okay. I know, I shouldn't ask, but I feel like I'm obligated to.
I don't know. Usually I get paid for the play-by-play boys.
I know.
You want to break me something off? Maybe I could do it, hit me up with a couple of hundred, but no, right now it's just standing around. And so I'm not sure what they're about to do. They're just shooting some free throws. So right now they're just all milling about, standing around. I think assistant coach Dutch, he's calling out plays here. So give me a second, Whitey. I got you. When they start back up, I'll drop some knowledge on you.
All right. Well, I know we got something you got to get to that's much more important right now as well.
Yes. Drapes takes, and this is a bonus edition, a double edition, because we played Friday, we played Sunday. Let's get into it. Drapes take here on this Monday.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
Yeah, Drapes take is back. It's been a few days, but I'm telling you what, hanging around these Sacramento Kings, seeing them up close and personal out here on the road. This team is legit. We heard Mike Brown say it in the postgame locker room the other day. Guys, you have a chance to be special. And I want to start with the most specialist of them all, De'Aaron Fox. You know, he made third-team All-NBA last season. No duh, we know that. But he's even better this season. And when you look at what he's doing, I could argue he's playing the best out of any guard in the entire association. So this is my prediction, Whitey, when it comes to De'Aaron Fox. I think first or second team All-NBA, because here's why. He's added the three-point shot. He tied a career high, 6 threes last night against Dallas. He scored 43 points a couple of nights ago against San Antonio. He's shooting better than 41% from three. This is what the NBA was afraid of. De'Aaron Fox with the jump shot, he has it now. He's going to be a first or second team All-NBA player.
I know I keep saying, and here's the thing that's really impressive about that, but another one is last year, the season started, you could say that De'Aaron Fox and the Kings snuck up on teams. De'Aaron Fox ain't sneaking up on anybody this year, but he's playing better than he was last year. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. And, he went out, obviously, with that ankle injury, and he's come back and he's been even better, I think, averaging 33 points per game in the games that he's been back. And so De'Aaron Fox, that confidence, he worked with Luke Loucks in the offseason on his jump shot, getting the arc better, getting his balance right, and we're seeing it pay off. I mean, this is a guy that's shooting 8 threes per game. Think about it. 8 threes. Remember, Whitey, we were talking a few weeks ago. We said 3 or 4 would be good.
Yeah.
If he took. He's shooting 8, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with De'Aaron Fox pulling the threes. Let me get to my second take. Can we give Chris Duarte some love, Whitey?
Yes.
Can we give my guy, Chris Duarte, some love? He is responsible. He was a big part for these last 2 wins. Think about it. Friday in San Antonio, we get off to a slow start. The offense not flowing, the defense not good. Starters, they're playing okay, but not great. Duarte comes in, and he single-handedly changed that game. He mucked it up. He got in Jeremy Sohan's grill, and, I like that feistiness from Chris Duarte. And then what he does to back it up after earning Defensive Player of the Game, he comes out and starts and drops 13 points. He stretches the floor and knocks down threes. Chris Duarte, remember, he missed a whole lot of time last year because of injury, Whitey. This guy, I think people need to buy in on him and what he gives this team. He gives them, obviously, some scoring, some shooting, but he gives them some toughness, too, that I think Mike Brown loves about him.
If you take a clinical, cold, hard look at this roster, I think you could make the argument that the one thing this team could really use is a legitimate 3-and-D guy, a guy who can play some defense and knock down threes. Well, based on what we saw last night, Duarte may be that guy. They may not need to go out and get anybody. If he can play like he did last night, I think they already have that guy, which is the reason they went out and got him in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. He knocked down 3 threes, but how about this? 8 rebounds. Also, he crashed the boards. And so, and think about it. He's only in his 12th game here in Sacramento. Imagine when he gets fully comfortable in his role and his opportunities, he is going to be a big part for this team going forward as they look to push for the playoffs. All right, my third and final drape take. I got to give some love, of course, to Domantas Sabonis. We talked about it last segment. You stole some of my thunder, Whitey. But you know what? This guy, he could have been the Western Conference Player of the Week. Domantas Sabonis, let's look at what the Kings have been able to do ever since the Houston game. They take on Portland. He dominates DeAndre Ayton. They take on OKC. He outplays Chet Holmgren. Then you back it up with the Twin Towers, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. He beats them. He dominates Anthony Davis. You see the theme here? Domantas Sabonis has been the best big man no matter who he plays against. Victor Wembanyama, it didn't matter. Domas delivered. And this is why, you know what? I'm upset right now. Kevin O'Connor, my guy, he's public enemy number 1. He doesn't return my text anymore. He don't take my calls. I done invited him on the show 3 or 4 times. Crickets. And it's because Domantas Sabonis is balling out. He's scared to face the music. Domas has been tremendous for this Kings team.
Do you think it's possible that he's heard some of that chatter, that narrative, and that's one of the things that's fueling his inspired and improved play this year?
I think he has to, right? I think if you're Domantas Sabonis, and it may not be he's heard it, but people around him have heard it. A lot of times that's how it is. And
Yeah.
so, it's interesting with him because when I talk to Doug, I'm like, dude, what's up? The right hand. You know what? He said he has a right, Kyle. He just doesn't trust it in the games. But, Whitey, we saw the other night, last night against Dallas, he made a couple of moves where he went left, spun back right, and finished with the right hand. And so it's crazy to think, as great as Domas has been in his career, he has room to get better, and we're seeing it right now with the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just mentioned his improved play last year. That's usually you say guys improved in his play. You're talking about a guy that was not so great last year. Right. He was third team all league, and yet he's taking it to another level. So it's incredible to see the way those two guys are dominating. Then on the other hand, is it that surprising? There was only, I think, one other team in the league, Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, that had two players that were all league. I think Boston and the Kings are the only two teams. So they have two all-league players. It's just taken the basketball world time to realize that's the case.
And it's not a fluke. That's the thing. It's not a fluke. De'Aaron Fox has been ascending in his career. We saw it, obviously. He's had some good seasons. Domantas Sabonis, before this past season, was already a two-time All-Star. And the fact that Domas is 27 and De'Aaron's 25, these guys are really just now entering their prime where they could be really effective. Domas, in case, at 27, for the next 5 years, this is his prime, and he's going to be dominant. It'll be another tough challenge tonight against his good friend Jonas Valanciunas, two Lithuanian big men. But, man, the tear that he's been on, and it's not necessarily about the results, right? We can talk about the scoring, the percentages. I just love the fact that he is being aggressive with it.
Yes.
Even if the shots don't go in, we're seeing is a different Domantas Sabonis from what we saw to start the season.
Yeah, and you saw that in the first few moments of that Portland game after the debacles in Houston. He came out when they got back here, and he was dominant. I have one other question for you based on last night's game, if I may. The bonus take, if you will. Rob Gronkowski, Keanu Reeves, and I don't know if you remember Kato Kalin, or Luka. Who's the worst actor of those four? Who's the worst? Just like, the worst actor of those four.
Well, it might be a tie between Kato and Luka. It might be a tie because Luka, the refs actually buy it, which is crazy.
True. That's
and
true.
I talked to Malik after the game. Malik did the same thing that Luka does.
Really?
And got called for a technical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and so Malik was heated about that. I go up to him, I'm like, how does Luka get away with, everything? And it's just ridiculous that the league is falling for it. And I thought that was supposed to be a point of emphasis to eliminate all this acting and flopping. It's terrible.
It is. But, he was tired. When he's tired, he gets a little whiny, and there you go. Real quick, I want to give a shout out also, in addition to the Kings, to Fat Cat Bakery. And we got a nice letter last week, and I know, Kyle, you've been on the road. Dear Drive Guys team, I've been a longtime listener, KHTK fan. Love having Whitey back, and Whitey and Draper together in the afternoons. And from the Fat Cat Bakery, this is Eric, who runs the place there. I should have put my name on the text. Chocolate chip cookies are way more popular than oatmeal raisin. With that said, our oatmeal raisin are delicious. Draper, you will dig these. So anyway, Eric sent us, and for the whole crew, and they're in the freezer at home. I'll bring them in, but he sent the whole crew just a mess of cookies, chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, I think some snickerdoodles, sugar cookies. So thank you very much, Eric, and everybody at Fat Cat Bakery for listening.
I was about to say, you probably ate them all. You might have to send me a package for when I get back, man. That's, you got them all to yourself. I see how it is.
No, they're in the freezer. That's all. They're in the freezer. Yeah, when you come back, first thing, I'll get you those cookies. Sure.
Oatmeal raisin. Just save them for me. That's all I ask.
Not a problem. Can't find anyone else.
And then nobody else going to take them.
Yeah, other than Alan Stiles. Yeah. All right, quick timeout here. We're going to come right back. When we do 49er problems and a Brock ain't won. What? That's next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and Sactownsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, looking at a sunny and seasonal kickoff to the week. Your Monday forecast will include highs reaching the lower to mid 60s under bright sunshine. Expect overnight lows in the lower 40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every lower-priced certified pre-owned Honda is one we'd buy from ourselves. See our selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda. Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. That's 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Did you know one of the worst things you can do is turn on your furnace after it's been sitting there all summer, gathering dust, without giving it a thorough tune-up first?
Think about it. What if your car had been sitting in the garage for 6 months without ever running?
Any piece of machinery that's been sitting needs to be tuned up. So call Bell Brothers. We'll tune up your furnace for just $87 and guarantee the results.
We guarantee that your tuned-up furnace will save you $87 on your energy bills. And we guarantee that your tuned-up furnace won't break down during the season, or we'll immediately refund your money. No questions asked.
Don't delay. Small problems that are easy and inexpensive to fix can quickly turn into big, expensive problems.
Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule your furnace tune-up at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Looking for the best deal on a new 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4? During the Black Friday sales event, Knight Elk Grove Dodge has it. $16,500 off MSRP. Plus get no payments for 90 days. Save well over $16,000. Only at Knight Elk Grove Dodge in the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovecdjr.com. MSRP $67,995. Net price $50,997 under $6,700 dealer discount and $10,199 in rebates. Apply with this price. Simple NPN 598835.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your flagship station for the Bean Team, Sactown Sports.
Whitey Gleason here in Sacramento, Kyle Draper in New Orleans, where he's getting ready for the Kings and the Pelicans. And Kyle, I know I keep mentioning this, but I think this is significant. Kyle reporting that Trey Lyles this afternoon may still be doing it, working out 5-on-5 there at the Smoothie King Center, working out pregame drills for the Kings. So
yeah,
that's
he
good news.
just did a nice up and under on Kessler Edwards and drew the foul as well. So he'll step to the line for 2 free throws here. Not sure of the score. They're doing half court now.
Okay.
Half court because the Pelicans, they're warming up now. But half court, 5-on-5.
Kyle, what is going on with the Kings? Just looking again at the box score last night. And I know that Dallas had played the night before. But, I mean, they shoot 53.3%. They had 34 assists.
Yeah.
Is that a high this year, I think?
No, I don't think so. I think they've had a few higher, but no, it's
up there. Yeah,
it's up there. Anytime you can get over 30, you know how it is. Whitey.
Yeah.
That was the magic number for the Warriors as well. You get over 30, you're doing something good. 34 assists for 48 made field goals and 53%. And they knocked down their free throws, 76%. You know, what I really liked by the Kings, though, last night, the offensive rebounding. They had 14 offensive rebounds, 22-6 second chance points advantage. And so even though the Mavs had 11 offensive rebounds, they couldn't convert them. And so I thought Mike Brown said it post game. He thought, you know, that was probably as complete a basketball game and an impressive of a win as they've had all season. Because here's the thing. The Mavs didn't play badly. They, you know, it wasn't like the Mavs came out and, you know, but then as the game wore on, when the Mavs tried to go to a certain level, they couldn't match the Kings. Like when things got physical, Lucas chirping and whining, you know, they want to play, you know, bully ball style. The Kings said, okay, we'll do it with you. And the Kings just went to a different level that, you know, the Mavs just couldn't get to. The Mavs TV guy turned to me during the game and he said, man, you guys are really good. You're playing. And I'm like, yeah, this team is locked in right now. And who would have thought, you know, 2 weeks ago in Houston, when we were reeling, that this team would be 8-4 at this point, man. It's been beautiful to see.
One of the things we've been talking about in recent weeks is how the Kings sometimes, you know, maybe you'd like to have another player or two with a little more edge. For what it's worth, we saw it last night, the little dust up between Tim Hardaway Jr. and JaVale McGee. Hardaway Jr. gave him a little shove, and JaVale McGee wasn't having any of it, Kyle.
JaVale, he came into that game with bad intentions, I think.
Yeah.
It was like Draymond the other night,
yeah.
You know, against the Timberwolves, like very early on. I mean, because the shove wasn't even that hard. Like, but JaVale shot up like a light, and obviously last year didn't go well for him in Dallas. He was thought to be the guy. He wound up only playing 42 games. I asked Jason Kidd before the game about it. I'm like, what happened with JaVale? Why did it go wrong? And Kidd sort of took the high road, and he said, well, a lot of things went wrong last year for us.
Did you say last night that you couldn't repeat what he told you? I thought
no, yeah, he dropped some bad language.
Yeah.
Not at McGee or anything,
Right.
but it was a couple of, you know, 4-letter words. Basically, everything went wrong, he said, last season. And so he took the high road. But no, JaVale was on one yesterday, man. You could tell that game meant a lot to him last night.
Compio, by the way, is in your cookie corner. He says oatmeal raisin #1. Compio checking in on the YouTube chat. He also wants to know if you dined at Brennan's today.
No, I didn't. I did not dine at Brennan's. You know, I'll take you behind the curtain a little bit. Like, so there's catered food for the team every day. And so I usually just eat brunch, you know, with what they have. Like, I haven't even been out in New Orleans yet. I'll go out tonight, though. You know, I'll see the sights tonight.
Gonna be there a while, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be off day tomorrow from basketball. And so maybe Brennan's is tomorrow night's spot, Compio. I might check that out. I'm sure you got a relative or somebody that works there. So, you know.
Cousin, certainly.
Cousin, somebody.
He's got cousins everywhere.
Exactly. So, no, I might have to check that out.
What do you make of the Pelicans? I know we're going to talk more about them today, and you know we got 2 games against them, and then game night we'll be talking about the Pelicans. I'm just having a hard time getting a handle on what they are right now, Kyle.
Well, they're a team that's battling big-time injuries. Obviously, we know about C.J. McCollum. Zion didn't play on the second night of a back-to-back. the other night against Minnesota. Jose Alvarado has been out. They got a number of guys out because of injury. Let me see who else has been out for them. Trey Murphy is a big part of what they do. Larry Nance is a big part of what they do. And so they started off pretty decent, though, to begin the season, like 4-1, something like that. But then they hit a swoon. They lost CJ, but they've won 2 out of their last 3. And so I just think, this team likes to run. So keep an eye on transition points. They defend the 3 extremely well. I think they're tops in the league in terms of defending the 3-pointer. And so we'll see if the Kings are able to, knock down 3s tonight. That'll be an interesting stat to monitor as you watch the game tonight. But I think they'll be in the mix for a playing spot. They're just hitting some rough time. Here's the thing, though. As good as Zion is, he has not been as good prior to the injury. He's only averaging 21.8 points per game.
6 rebounds or something.
6 rebounds, all
Certainly
of the
not
shots.
bad, but
not bad, right. But, a couple years ago, last year to start the season, he was at 27 points per game. And so he's sort of, not the same player, but he's still so dangerous. I got some notes here on Zion I want to pull out. I'm going to say this during the broadcast. He's 11th in the NBA in fast break points, 3rd in points in the paint. Yeah, he gets 17.2 points in the paint per game, only behind Jokic and Giannis. And so he's a load. And so you got to keep him out of the paint, which is obviously easier said than done. I don't know who's going to check him tonight, Whitey. Is it Keegan Murray? Does he get that assignment? Harrison Barnes? Because he could just bully everybody out there.
Yeah, I would guess HB, but but again, a guy that good, a lot of different players are going to get their shots at him. By the way, another real good sign that the Kings offense is just humming along, and not that there's no question it is, but he had all 5 starters in double figures last night, and Monk first got off the bench in double figures, which just shows that, as we've said before, this isn't an offense that hunts mismatches. This is an offense that hunts open shots, and Doc Rivers was even talking about that a little bit on Friday night.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing, right? And I go back to what Sham said about, this being a destination for players. If you're a player, this is the kind of system you want to play in, as great as Luka and Kyrie are, if you're another player, if you go there, your touches are going to be limited. You come to Sacramento, it's equal opportunity. And Mike Brown says, let it fly. So if you got a good look, that's the one thing I will say about Mike Brown when it comes to offense. He doesn't try to limit guys. He actually tries to empower. Think about what he's doing with Keegan Murray. He wants Keegan to get in his bag. He wants Keegan to attack the basket, to shoot the ball. And that's encouraging. If I'm a player, that's the kind of coach I want to play for.
Now, I know you're focused on the Pelicans and the Kings, but your football team has a pretty big game tonight. And what did you think, as a big Philly guy, what did you think of the 49ers performance yesterday?
You know what? I didn't get to watch the game, unfortunately, but, I saw the highlights. I saw, some of the throws Brock Purdy made, and no, they did what they had to do. I thought that deep touchdown to Ayuk was a beautiful ball. The defender sort of misplayed that, Whitey, and then the touchdown to Kittle was wide open.
Trying to think
touchdown
which play.
to CMC wide open.
That's right. That was the longest pass play for a touchdown in the NFL this year. Right. Yeah.
But the defender misplayed the ball.
Longest one in the NFL. Yeah.
He misplayed the ball, though, Whitey. Come on, call it what it is. You got to be honest about that. He misplayed the ball. It was a beautiful throw, a nice heave. But, that was a good win. But now this is where the schedule gets tougher. And I know Seattle took a bad L this past weekend, but that Thanksgiving Day game is going to be massive. Then you got the Eagles and then Seattle again. And so, no, the Niners are who we thought they were, right? They hit a little bump. They hit a little slide, lost 3 in a row. But I was never out on them. I don't know about you. I never discounted them. It's good to see that they finally got their act together.
I think to have a legitimate shot at the 1 seed, I think they're going to need help starting tonight, right? I mean, don't we think that the Eagles, you said, they've got a tough stretch here themselves, but it is November. It's getting late. Nick Bosa said yesterday, this is when it starts getting real this time of year. But the Eagles, the 49ers, I should say, need a helping hand from the Chiefs starting tonight. They're going to have any chance to get back to the number 1 spot.
No, you're right, because then you get that win by the Chiefs tonight. You're only behind the Eagles a game.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you take care of business against Seattle. Eagles win next week. And then so that game in Philly on December 3rd is for first place in the conference. And so that's why this is such a big game, not only tonight, but also Thursday, because if you're San Francisco, you don't want to go into that Sunday game against Philly 2 games behind.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Because even if you win, you're still a game back. And so that's why, if you're a Niners fan, you're the biggest Chiefs fan tonight.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a great game, man. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I know I have my duties calling the game, but best believe your boy's going to have a score up to the side. I'll be checking that out.
Pete Carroll, the coach of the Seahawks, had an update today on Geno Smith's condition ahead of the Thursday night game with the 49ers. We'll share that with you next. We'll come right back here to Drive Guys. Kyle's in New Orleans, Whitey here in Sacramento. It's Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out, Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water bill.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Good Guys Heating and Cooling has a deal going on right now that you cannot miss. This summer was much shorter and cooler than normal, so that means Good Guys is overstocked and ready to clear out their warehouse. They've got inflation-busting pricing on a brand new heating and air system for just $82.99. No other company is offering a replacement system that low. Call Good Guys now at 530-GOOD-AIR to see if you qualify. That's 530-GOOD-AIR for a no-cost qualification appointment. Best service, best price, guarantee. And that's no bull. License number 1057618.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Kyle Draper shared with us some breaking news this afternoon. Looks like Trey Lyles has been working out today, so he's been participating in 5-on-5 drills at the Smoothie King hours before the Kings are taking on the Pelicans. So a lot of people on Twitter. I shared that on Twitter, Kyle, giving you full credit, of course. A lot of people excited about that. I have to think we're getting closer and closer to what Emil Fragoso calls Trey Day, right?
Trey Day is nearing, and that 5-on-5 has wrapped up. He's shooting free throws right now, and watching them, it looked like a full scrimmage, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't guys weren't jogging. In fact, Kessler Edwards took a three, and Trey closed out on him and leaped up into the air, got real high, came down fine, didn't wince, seems to be okay, and this is an encouraging sign. And so I don't know if it'll be Wednesday or Friday, but this is probably the most Trey has done all season long, ever since injuring that calf in the preseason.
Boy, it'd be a nice piece to have available when you're taking on the two big guys that the Timberwolves have. Am I right?
Yeah, think about it. Yeah. With their twin towers that they have, now you could, if Trey was there, you could throw Trey on Karl Anthony Towns. You can go big with Sabonis and Trey Lyles out there. And so, man, and he would be another factor on the offensive end, somebody they'd have to guard. It'll be interesting if he doesn't play, and you got Harrison Barnes trying to guard Karl Anthony Towns. That could be an interesting matchup. And so that's what's scary about this Kings team, though, Whitey. As well as they're playing, 8-4, playing extremely well, 6 in a row, they still aren't whole yet. They still don't have their full complement of players yet. Kevin Huerter is now banged up. And so it's scary to think, when this team is complete, how good they can be.
Yeah, and I know that you can't overlook the Pelicans. You don't want to disrespect them or look past them. But that game against the Timberwolves is a tournament game.
Yes.
And the Kings have been cleaning up in the tournament so far.
And that's going to be for first place in Group C as well. And so I think that game is massive. And obviously you wrap up Tuesday at home against Golden State. But, man, this is going to be a heavyweight battle because Minnesota's playing some great basketball. We saw what they did down there at Chase Center to the Warriors, just totally manhandling them. And speaking of the Warriors, can we at least acknowledge what's happening with them right now, Whitey? Did you watch that game the other night against OKC?
I did not see the game. I watched the highlights, like Holmgren with the three, and they were stunned, and they've lost. Was that 6 in a row for them that they've lost?
6 in a row, and I texted Bonte Hill, who does pre and post game down there. I just texted him the Kermit the Frog, meme with the sipping the tea and everything. He called me all heated. I didn't accept this call. I told him I'm going to hold off on trash talk until after we beat him on that Tuesday. But, man, 3 weeks ago, the Warriors fans, they were all in our mentions, making fun of us. How quickly have things changed for them?
Yeah, well, I mentioned this during the crossover, Kyle, but have you seen the commercial, the Amazon commercial, where it's the 3 old ladies and they end up going down the sleds? One of them gets cushions for the other two. I don't know if you've seen that.
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay, they play it when you're doing the games, but they're playing it everywhere now. It's these 3 old ladies, and they all decide to go down the hill on the sleds, and it reminds me of the Warriors. I think it's like Steph playing Draymond, and they're like reliving their past glories, and then they look up like, how are we going to get back up the hill? Which is where the Warriors are right now. How are we going to get back up the hill? Because they're struggling right now.
And I watched that game, and some of the shots that Klay Thompson took late. I mean, he's falling out of bounds, tightly guarded, and these are some of the worst shots in the history of basketball, and he is a shell of himself. Sure, Wiggins got going, but in overtime, they couldn't do anything, and OKC just went in there, and Chet Holmgren, that big three, and not only the three, he hit it, and he was talking trash to that whole building, and I love to see it. That was a great win. I was an OKC fan that night.
But Kyle, when he has his back to the basket and makes the catch, wrap him up.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes.
Send him to the line for 2. But
Yes.
Steve Kerr is, and I know I understand the caution, but he's not a big believer necessarily in fouling when you're up 3, and sometimes that'll cost you, Coach.
Yeah, that was a big-time loss because everybody was feeling good. Wiggins scored 30+. Steph didn't have to score 40. He had some big shots, and, that would have been a huge win for them. But they've lost 6 in a row. I think 5 of them at home. Think about it. They're on a 6-game homestand, and they're 0-5 at home during this homestand.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They got to beat Houston to salvage one win on this homestand. I mentioned Geno Smith. Geno Smith yesterday, because, of course, the Seahawks are supposed to play the 49ers on Thursday. Geno Smith went down near the end of the third quarter yesterday in what ended up being a Seahawks loss. He was hit hard on his throwing arm, missed the remainder of that possession and 2 more before he returned for the final drive. So there's a legitimate question as to whether he'll be playing Thursday. Pete Carroll today on his radio show, here's what he had to say about it. He said that there's a positive sign that Smith was able to return to the game. He said that's positive. He says they're taking a look at it, but they pretty much know what's going on there. It's just see how soon it settles down. Like I said, it's a good sign that he's functional, so that's not the issue. So it's just how sore he is. He'll make it back. And then one of the interviewers said, so you mean for Thursday? Pete Carroll said, I would think so. So he's trying to be positive about it. But for Pete Carroll to say, I would think so, that's the equivalent of another person going, there's no way. Because he is Mr. Positivity, right? So
he's Mr. Optimist, right? He's always looking on the bright side. That would be a huge loss because I know Seattle obviously had a bad loss this week to the Rams, but the Rams play them tough, man. And when you look at Seattle's losses this season, 2 to the Rams, okay, maybe that's a matchup thing, but then you lose at Cincinnati and then at Baltimore. Those are not bad losses. And so you asked earlier, who are the Pelicans? I'm trying to figure out who are the Seahawks. Like, are they a good team or not? And I think this week will go a long way towards telling me that.
Yeah, 2014, 49er fans remember, first year of Levi's, if I'm not mistaken, they played the Seahawks on Thanksgiving, and they lost to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks ended up literally feasting at midfield. And it would be so great if the 49ers could return that favor, win on Thanksgiving, and at Lumen Field have some Thanksgiving dinner. It's interesting because Richard Sherman, who was on the Seahawks at the time, he said, hey, that wasn't our idea. The TV producers, because, it's on TV. He said they thought it was a good idea. We didn't mean to disrespect anybody. So we just said, okay, we were just going along with it. But it was an absolute, it was for the Seahawks, it was like, we win, you lose, and from there, the 49ers win in the toilet the next few years. So I'm hoping the 49ers have an opportunity for a little Thanksgiving meal payback Thursday night. That would be great.
How disrespectful is that, right? Yes. Not only to beat us, but then to pull out the table, the white cloth, tablecloth, the napkins, sit down and bite yourself
at home.
Make yourself at home, right?
So we'll see.
Yes.
Yeah, and Richard Sherman said,
big game.
Wasn't our idea. Yeah, right.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Though. In terms of home field advantage, is this a must-win for the Niners? Like, looking at the schedule, figuring everything out, is this a must-win? Because if you look at it, if they go to 4 losses,
yeah, they got to be. Yeah,
I don't know if the Eagles will get to 4 losses. You know what I mean?
You might not be able to win. You might have to win the rest of your games to have a
Right.
legitimate shot. You might.
Exactly.
You may. Yeah. So it could be.
So it's crazy. We still got 2 months left to go in the season or whatever it is, and these games are huge right now. These next 3 weeks, I think, are going to tell us the conference standings, which is crazy.
Let's go Chiefs. Am I right tonight, huh? Let's go Chiefs.
You know what? As I was packing to come out on the road, I found my Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl T-shirt. And I was like, you know what? I might have to wear this one of these days. I don't know if I could get away with it in the station. You know what I mean? I don't want John Lynch or anybody calling up. Hold on now. You guys are the Niners station. Why is your boy wearing a Eagles gear? But I'm like, man, I got the poncho, like a little thing that covers you up. And I got the T-shirt, so I'm ready. December 4th, when you come back, I'm ready.
Just pick your spot. Carefully.
Right.
Good luck to you. Yeah. When we come back, what the NBA Nation is finding out about the Sacramento Kings. It's a drive, guys, on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a parm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
We're taking you up to just the bottom of the hour, then game night takes over with the Kings get ready to take on the Nolens Pelicans. Whitey Gleason here in our Sacramento studios. Hal Draper getting ready for the call in Nolens, standing by. And Kyle, the Kings are just they've certainly have played a lot better since you went to Houston on your last road trip.
Yeah, they're blazing right now, and they're doing it on both ends of the floor. Obviously getting after it defensively. You know, what was it, 20 steals the other day against the Lakers, I think it was. And so they're playing extremely well right now. And, you know, they're battling the injury bug. I'm sitting here watching Sasha Vezenkov getting up some shots. He's dealing with that thumb on his left hand, so on his shooting hand. And he has it wrapped up on some tape right now, but he's still getting up shots. He's going through his normal pregame routine is what I see right here. So I would imagine he's a game-time decision tonight.
Yeah, because as a first year, he's got to participate in the early drills, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, yes. And so it's looking good. You know, the shot's looking good. He's knocking it down. And, you know, he's been getting some minutes here lately. You know, the numbers – don't indicate. I think he's averaging 6 points over his last 4. But look at his efficiency out there. He's shooting lights out. He had 7 points last night. And so it's good to see him out there, man. They're going to need him, especially, you know, if you don't have Kevin Huerter tonight, let's say he doesn't go, Sasha might be out as well. And so, you know, you're talking two of your better 3-point shooters against a team that's really great defending the three. And so you could use a guy like Sasha out there tonight.
Right. Please don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not I'm not casting aspersions on any of the players, but I was just thinking of this last night. It's got to be tough on that team. And I understand if a guy has a bad finger, I've when I was in high school, I remember missing something because of a bad finger. But on that team, it's got to be tough to sit out when you have a sprained finger, when you got your two best players and they're playing with broken thumb and a broken finger last year, right? You got to be, It's like, oh, guys, is it okay? This really hurts. I'm not going to play. Are we all right?
My pinky's a little sore today.
Right.
No, we'll see. I think he'll play, man, just from watching it. You know, but we saw Kevin Huerter at shoot-around yesterday. He went through the full shoot-around and didn't play last night. So, you know, we'll see, man.
I still think that, and this is probably the way it's always going to be, unless and until the Kings are, you know, going deep into the playoffs every year, there's still just a large portion of the basketball nation, especially pundits. They don't really understand how good this team is. We saw it before, Kyle, with the Weber Vlade team. It took, national observers a long time to catch up with the reality of it, and we're seeing it now. I mean, it's incredible to me that last week, one of the things that was being kicked around was, boy, I don't know, the Kings maybe traded the wrong guard. It's like, you got to be an idiot to either a moron to say that, or you're really just not paying attention to what's going on. And that's nothing against Halliburton, who's great, but do you realize how good Sabonis has been and how good Fox has been since that trade? It's incredible.
Yeah, and I don't think people understand. Like, let's say you did decide to keep Tyrese Halliburton. I can say with a lot of certainty that this franchise would not be in a position that it is. And so Why can't it just be a win-win for both Indiana and for Sacramento? Why do we have to try and figure out who won the trade? Like, the Kings are doing A-OK. I'm sure if you ask both teams, would you like to rescind the trade? They both say, we're happy with what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all these outside voices, these outside noises. And I'll be honest with you, Whitey, man. It bothers me because I'm going on social media, and when they did the For You page on Twitter, that was the worst thing ever. Because now I'm inundated. It's like a train wreck, right? It's like you can't turn away. It's like, who's going to come up with the most dumb comment of the day? And it's like a competition. And instead of looking at the guys I normally follow and I value and respect their opinions, I got yahoos from all over who think they know basketball that's out there trolling. It's ridiculous. It's De'Aaron Fox is playing at an elite level. And I could argue, if Monty doesn't make that deal, we don't see the best of De'Aaron Fox like we're seeing right now. And so, there's no revisionist history or anything like that. Monty would do this trade 10 times out of 10,
right,
if he had the chance to do it over again.
Yeah. I do think that there's some people nationally that just want to cling to that Kings narrative, and they try to retrofit it to reality. And they want to be able to say, the Kings don't know what they're doing, even though it's proven that, no, they actually do now. So I think, again, it's just a matter of people actually taking a lot of time to realize what actually is going on, what's right in front of their eyes, which is this is a very good basketball team right now.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I see High Flyer just showed up.
High Flyer!
Make sure he don't pick up the headset, though. He's not allowed to pick up the head. He can't pick up the headset.
He's got
and
it
jump
on.
Jay, cut his mic. He can't come over.
He just hasn't turned his mic on yet.
He's trying to take over our show. We got a good basketball discussion going on here. Whitey, this is me and you, baby. No offense, High Flyer. This is me and Whitey here.
What's up, High Flyer?
Hey, check this out. Do not let KD come between us, bro. I'm telling you that right now. You talk about a brother that's trying to create division, man. Come on, KD. CMB, baby. We all we got.
You're right. Here's the thing, though. People at home, they don't know Whitey's going to be off for a little bit. I got a full week next week at High Flyer. I can only take this dude in short doses. I don't need him more now. I can wait till next week. I love you, High Flyer. You're my guy.
You know what, Whitey? When you come back, bro, it might not be no more show, man. When me and this guy
He's got a funny way of saying that he needs you next week, doesn't he?
Hey, let me tell you, when me and this guy get together, man, it's just straight comedy, man.
Right. No, I'm looking forward to that, man. How you feeling, High Flyer? The boys are playing well, 6 straight. We talked last week, if you remember, too, about this road trip. We're like, man, 4-2 would be great. I'll take 3-3. Here they are, 3-0 on this road trip so far. This has the potential, the makings of being a very special trip for the Sacramento Kings.
It does, KD. It has the making of riding the ship. You know, that one Texas trip really put bad taste in our mouth, and we understand it happened, but that's over with. This road trip here can really, just negate that, because the way they're playing right now, they are playing very good basketball. They're at an elite level. I read something the other day that was they were talking about De'Aaron Fox, and people are questioning, is De'Aaron Fox a top 10 player in this league?
Again,
I'm like,
aren't paying attention.
I'm like, what are you looking at, bro?
Right.
Do you have to ask that question? This dude is top 5, if you ask me. He's top 5, if you ask me.
See, if you had an MVP vote right now, for sure he would be in that top 5.
Bro, top 5. The way he's playing, the way he got this team going, his value, just straight value to this team is top 5.
Henry, that's the thing, and we talked about this earlier, that a lot of people around the country don't realize about the Kings. There's only 2 teams in the NBA that had multiple players that were all league last year. Boston had 2 players that were all league, and the Kings are the other team. They got 2 guys that were legitimate all-NBA players. 3rd team, I know, but still, they made one of the all-NBA teams. And people don't realize that, or they figure it was a fluke, or they just fail or refuse to accept the truth.
You know why? Here's the reason why. you have all these teams that have the quote unquote big three. And when that big three wasn't on the list, they're not trying to hear anything. You know, everybody feels like, okay, you can go to the Clippers right now. The Clippers have a big four.
Right, right.
And when you don't throw those guys on that list, they don't want to hear about anybody else being on there. Golden State has a big three. All right. Phoenix has a big three. You know, even right now, when you look at what's going on this year, Minnesota has a big three.
Yeah. The way they're playing. Yeah.
Right. They got a big three. So, you know, when they look at what Sabonis and De'Aaron is doing, when you start talking about a duo, I'm sorry. They are top in a duo race also.
Yeah, they are.
They're tops.
Who would you rather have, James Harden or Russell Westbrook or Domantas Sabonis right now? It's not even close.
Right.
Or Bradley Beal for that matter.
Hey, let me tell you something. I wouldn't trade for James Harden or Russell Westbrook if they threw in a 6-pack of beer and some sunflower seeds. You'd think about it, though, wouldn't you? No way, no how. Because, you know, and it's crazy that, you know, I'm talking about Hall of Fame dudes.
Yes.
But they just, for me, singly, as individuals, they are great. James Harden is one of the best in the business at what he does. He's great on a bad team. The same thing with Russell Westbrook. That's why everybody want to bring Russ off the bench, because Russell Westbrook is a ball-dominant player. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be able to make everything work. That's the only way you're going to get the best out of Russ. And when you take the ball out of his hands, you mean to tell me you're going to have Russ standing in the corner and catch and shoot?
That's the same with Harden, right? Harden's the same type of player. So how did they ever?
Harden's a little different than Russell, though, because he can catch and shoot. Russell can catch and shoot. If he don't
catch and shoot, he just can't make it.
Thank you. If he don't have the ball in his hands coming 100 miles an hour at you, he's not valuable. He's not valuable.
Yeah. We're going to take a real quick timeout. Coming up here, the high flyer, Drapes in New Orleans, and me, Weddy Gleason, setting the scene for Kings and the Pelicans tonight. What are the Pelicans going to do about their Zion problem? That's next year when we come right back. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted, ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner.
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Your afternoons, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I hate to ask this question here. Drive Guys, Drapes in New Orleans. Me and Henry here in our studios. Henry, we all know that when you played on the Kings, they had, they weren't the team they are now. What was the worst road trip you remember having with the Kings?
Oh, wow, man.
Because there are some doozies, right? They're just they're just work.
Yeah. We had some very thin times. That first go around with the Sacramento Kings, that 88, 89 team was rough, man. I mean, that's how I got introduced into the league, and I was like, is this how we roll? I mean, our mindset, man, was most of all, let's hurry up and get this over with, bro, because the club got to get started in about like 3 hours. We need to be there.
What did you think of what Lou Williams had to say today? He was talking to Shams. Shams basically, long story short, was saying it's a destination now. Good players will want to go to Sacramento. And Lou Williams said, yeah, that's the basketball environment's great, but nobody wants to go to Sacramento because there's nothing to do there. We kind of know there's not as much to do here as there is in other places, but is this now a place for the first time since C-Web where good players want to come to play?
You know what? I will say this. Guys who have been in the league for a while and they've been to these cities and they know what these other cities can offer, they really want to weigh it now because it's like we still going to Atlanta and we still going to New York. We still going to Houston. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to live in Sacramento because I'm going to be on this team. We winning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your mindset is to win, Sacramento's the destination. Think about it. We have never heard players say, well, you know what? Sacramento will be a place that I want to play at. Never heard that. So that just goes to show right there that this team, and when people look at it, they're giving it a lot more validity right now. Like, this is a destination. I'll go play there.
And here's the thing, too. I think it depends on what stage of life you're at right now.
True.
You know, and you look at a guy like Domantas Sabonis, who's, you know, been in the league a number of years, has the wife, the kids, the place in Napa and everything. You know, it's a great place to raise a family. Now, if you're 20 years old, 21, 22, looking to get it in, maybe that's not the spot for you. And so I think it depends on who you are. I think, you know, I could have said the same thing about Boston, too. You know, if you are a young, single African-American man, Boston might not have been your top choice. But if you're a family, then, you know, KG goes there, and now he's a god there. I said this earlier, High Flyer. If you win in Sacramento, you become a god here. You know what I mean? It's not like if you go to LA or something, you're one of, you know, hundreds, thousands of celebrities. You come to Sacramento and do big things and bring this franchise a championship, man. You can write your own ticket out here.
You know what, KD? Let's keep it 100, bro. Like I said,
keep it a buck.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you come to Sacramento and you just work your butt off and give it 100 out there on the floor, you're king. Ooh, I mean, all Sacramento Kings who have come through here in the Sacramento King era, if you was a guy that worked hard and went out there and left it all out there on the floor, these fans loved you. It just depends upon what area you're in. I mean, we could always go and find a Terry Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
first free agent to ever signed, I think.
You know, you could always find a Henry Turner. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can always find. You know,
he's not hard to find. He's always in there.
Of course, but I'm saying you could always find those guys and that came here and gave blood, sweat, and tears for this team.
Right.
And our fans love them.
Don't you think that the one thing fans appreciate the most about, especially De'Aaron Fox, because he was drafted here, is that from day one he wanted to be here.
He wanted to be here.
There was no like. Okay, well, I'm here. I'll make the best of it. He wanted, if he didn't, he fooled us all, but he made it apparent that he wanted to be here.
No. And you know what, though? And really embraced being here. You know, I would say De'Aaron embraced being here. Tyrese Halliburton did, too. Tyrese wanted to be here. And I would say to some degree, DeMarcus Cousins wanted to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I think big DC, no matter how you think about him, good, bad, or indifferent, he loved Sacramento. He loved this city.
Did a lot of good things here.
A lot of good things.
Well, what about small market situation now? The Pelicans have Zion, and they're trying to build around him. And last week he said, I'm trying to buy in. I mean, they're in a very delicate situation, aren't they?
You know what? In today's game, you really have to be careful with your words because the media takes it and run. You know, that's our job.
Yeah.
We take it and we run. And then you got
letting him off the hook for that?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Zion?
Yeah, Zion.
But the thing about it is that it's a players' league now, Whitey. I mean, think about it. Guys will give you a list. Here's my list of where I want to be traded. Nowhere else.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. We didn't know that we were being traded to Minnesota until like 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to get to that plane. Get on it. And, oh, yeah, your destination is Minnesota. That's when you figured out where you got traded to. Players have a lot more leverage in the league nowadays.
Sure, I understand that, and they've earned it. But a situation like New Orleans, I don't know how you handle that. Maybe they're better off because, he's never quite been all the way on board. Maybe they're better off just saying, look, if you want to go somewhere, we'll move you, because it's like everything's on hold for them as a franchise until he decides whether he's all in or not.
It is. But he has to understand this too. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Everything that glitters ain't gold. I'll give you one good thing about this is that a good example. You remember when The Matrix, Sean Marion, was killing it in Phoenix. He was the guy. He was the man.
Perfect system for him.
But all of a sudden, he started feeling himself. Well, I want to get traded to a team to where I'm the alpha. I'm the number one. Sean Marion career hadn't been the same since. You have to be careful about what you want and where you want to go. Sometimes the system that you're in is bigger than your game.
Well, I'll say this for the Kings, and there's still going to be people who are always going to question the trade, as stupid as that is. When the Kings made the trade for Sabonis, I know one of the things that people were saying about it, and this is supposedly smart basketball people, they were saying, they bring Sabonis in. He's not going to be there. First chance he gets, he's going to leave. So why are they doing that? Well, he's staying, right? I mean, he's already signed to stay on board long term. So I don't know how anyone would even try to criticize that trade at this point.
You can't. It was a win-win for both teams.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, I was sad to see Tyrese go because I knew what type of kid he was going to be. I was sad to see him go, but I told everybody, and this is from the first inkling that we got of it, I say, understand when you can go out and get a generational player, proven all-star like Sabonis. Sabonis was an all-star, proven. You're going to have to get up something big for him, but you have to go get him. It ain't every day KD comes up. It ain't every day. If Steph comes up, I'm sorry, you sell the house to get those guys. So when the Kings did that, I was sad to see Reese go, but I was so happy that we got Sabonis because it changed the dynamic.
And it unlocked De'Aaron Fox too.
Right.
And so the thing about that trade, when you look at Tyrese and you look at De'Aaron Fox, to me, it's a decision on how do you want your basketball team to play? And the way De'Aaron Fox plays complements how Sabonis plays.
Right.
The way Tyrese plays, I don't know if it complements as much with Sabonis or with De'Aaron Fox. Those two, I don't think could have worked.
I will tell you this.
That's why I think Mike Brown deserves a ton of credit, because they made the decision that had Fox, and then they bring the coach in. It's like, this is what you have to work with, Ken. You better make it work, and he did.
Let me tell you this. Tyrese's game more complimented Rashawn Holmes.
Yes.
Rashawn Holmes had his best year with Tyrese because their games meshed a lot better. So, you move on from Rashawn Holmes, you move on from Tyrese, but now you got Sabonis and De'Aaron. It's all about chemistry, man. Me and Paige was just talking about this yesterday. Me and Paige had a long conversation yesterday, and to actually get that chemistry right, man, you almost have like a once-in-a-lifetime situation because think about it, Whitey. That 2002-2003 team hasn't been duplicated in a long time.
Right.
The way they played basketball changed, revolutionized how we watch basketball to this day.
Kyle, before we let you go, any closing thoughts here as we get ready for the Kings and the Pelicans?
Yeah, man, I just think this is going to be a tough game. I'm watching Kevin Huerter going through his pregame warm-ups right now. Has some sort of finger thing on both of his fingers there. The index finger is the one that's hurting. I don't know if he's going to go tonight. Sasha went through his. I'll be honest, I didn't like the way he looked coming off. I thought he cut his workout a little short. And so this is going to be a tough matchup here. Don't look at New Orleans and what they've done without CJ and how they've struggled. They won 2 out of their last 3. Zion is playing. And so it's going to be a tough matchup tonight, man.
All right, game night with the High Flyer and Scott Marsh is next right here on Sactown Sports.
Hey, Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Star